Welcome back, Yappers! Today on Binge Yap Repeat, we are diving deep into the Upside Down to discuss Stranger Things 5 Part 1. There's so much to discuss on this episode. Will Max wake up? What will Will be doing with his new powers? What is the significance of the number 12? And who is going to make it in the end, and who might we lose along the way? Strap in and get settled with your walkie-talkies and your flux capacitors. Our episode starts now. Hey Yappers, welcome back to Binge Yap Repeat. My name is Shalini.
And I'm Anjali.
And today we are going to be talking about Stranger Things 5 Part 1 that just came out on November 26th.
Yay.
I'm so excited
Oh my
to
God.
talk about this. There's so much to discuss.
Honestly, too much.
Yeah, honestly too much. We'll see how long this episode is.
Yeah.
It was just like such a dense, how long was it? Probably like 5 hours total.
Yeah.
Yeah, around
pretty
5
much
hours
5
of
hours.
content. So action-packed.
Yes.
So crazy.
But interestingly, I thinking back, I can't think about what was in episode 1 versus 2. It did feel like just a continuous story.
I think because I knew episode 2 was called The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler.
Yeah.
I knew I have that distinct cutoff, but I totally agree for like episodes 3, 4. Okay, so maybe before we do overall thoughts, can you give a rating for the seasons up until now? And then let's get into season 5.
Okay. So just like a rating out of 10 for seasons 1 through 4. Okay. Season 1, I would say like 10 out of 10. That was so good. Also, Yappers, we just rewatched every single season
in like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. It was so much TV, but it was good for this podcast. Now everything is front of mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would give season 1 10 out of 10.
I agree.
Season 2, what was like the main storyline in season 2 again?
That was the beginning of the Mind Flayer. So that was Will keeps getting like taken into the Upside Down randomly and then put back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Hawkins' lab and Bob dies and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. I would maybe give that one. Am I allowed to do decimals?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I think I'll give that one like an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I thought it was so good, but it wasn't the same as season 1 where every episode I was like, oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still very good. Season 3 was the mall.
Mm-hmm.
I would also give that like an 8.5, maybe a 9. I did like the setting of the mall, and it really brought me into the 80s. Yeah. The storyline, actually, okay, the storyline I thought was a little weaker, though. Okay, so maybe I'll go down to like 8.5.
Okay.
Maybe an 8.
Okay.
Then season 4, was the Vecna season.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I know there was flack for it online, or people didn't love it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a solid 8. But season 5 so far 10 out of 10.
Wow. Okay. I think I agree 10 out of 10 for season 1. Season 2 I thought was almost as good. Yeah, maybe I'd give that an 8.5. Season 3 an 8 because it was still a really good show. It just wasn't as good as seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then I would give season 4 a 10 out of 10. I think now that I've spent so much time away from Stranger Things and I'm rewatching everything, seeing how season 4 stacks up to season 3, I'm like, season 4 was so good.
True.
Everything was so well thought out. I love when you hear the backstory of things.
Yeah.
And so just learning about Henry Creel and the history behind it and everything. I completely forgot a lot of this because this is my first rewatch of the entire series. So yeah, I really loved season 4, and I agree. I would put season 5 up there as well. I think so far, obviously this was not a rush job. We've been waiting 3 years for this,
Yes.
and I think it shows that this was not a rush job.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think maybe, like, people were thrown off by season 4 because it had been so long, and maybe people forgot the story a little bit. Also, the kids looked so much older
Yes, that's something I
that,
want to
like
talk about.
yeah, I think people were maybe critiquing that too much. Like, kids are gonna grow.
Yeah.
I would prefer they take their time and have the kids look older than they should be to create a great show rather than just, like, rush it so that the kids don't grow up too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely agree. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's get into it. So I'll just set the scene for episode 1 so that we're all on the same page. So episode 1 starts there. We learn that there's a 1.5 year time jump since season 4.
Mhm.
It is now fall 1987.
Mhm.
The kids are juniors in high school, in the beginning of their junior year of high school. The older kids are in what would be the second year of their college, but we actually find out none of them are in college.
I mean, yeah, why would you go to college if this is
Yeah.
happening in your hometown
Yeah,
to your family?
I know. At first I was like, how come none of them went to college? And then I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be like, well, what? Like, that doesn't matter. And it all feels a bit post-apocalyptic-y. We find that the cracks between our world and the upside down have been covered by these like big metal slates, and kids are using them to sled and stuff. There's a huge military presence in Hawkins. They do these things called burns where they like burn an opening in a gate and the military goes in, and their entire goal is to look for 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what were your overall thoughts? Let's just start with episode 1.
Yeah, I thought episode 1 set the scene really well. Obviously, like, season 4 ended on such, like, a jarring note. I'm kind of glad that they, like, set the scene a little bit more, for the new season. They kind of, like, eased us into it, especially with Robin's, like, radio announcement.
Yes.
It was a good way to just introduce us to, like, this new world that is Hawkins 1987.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was a good, like, entry episode to the new season. Um, and it, like, sort of put all the chess pieces where they should go
Mhm.
and, like, start. But things haven't really started moving, but I thought it was a great way to start off.
Yeah, I love the way you put that. Like they're placing the chess pieces down and we don't know what's going to happen with these chess
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, it made me really excited for the season because I was like, "Ooh, how is this all gonna play out?" Episode 1 was The Crawl?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the
Yeah.
name of the episode.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, "Okay, what's The Crawl?
Yeah.
Like, what are all these new things they're talking about? We're not very familiar." Yeah, so it was very intriguing.
Cool. Yeah, I totally agree. It was a really good reintroduction back into the world. I think one thing this show does really well, despite the years of gap between seasons, is that it never feels like the characters have changed. Like
Yeah.
they're still really true to themselves. The actors are incredible,
Mhm.
like in all age ranges.
Yeah.
And you don't really feel like there's been this huge shift, which maybe people did feel that because you can see visually that there's been a big difference, but I think just in terms of like vibes and feelings and characters, they have stayed very true to the original characters, which is
Totally.
great.
Yeah. And I think maybe it was also an easier transition from 4 to 5 because the kids didn't look that much older than they
Yes.
were in 4 because they had already, like, gone through puberty and stuff.
I was actually going to bring this up. So I think actually season 5, they look way more age appropriate than they did in
Yeah.
seasons 3 and 4 because
Definitely.
they look more believable as 16 now than they
Yes.
did at 14 5 years ago or whenever
Yeah.
season 3 came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was honestly expecting them to look older than me because I have a baby face. And I was like, "Oh god, these kids are gonna look so old." But I thought they like, the wardrobe that they chose
Mhm.
and, like, the way that the kids were acting, it gave 16 years old.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And they like pretty much looked believably 16. Because I remember a few moments in in season 4 when we looked at 11 and we're like, that looks like a woman.
Yeah.
Like, that is not a 14-year-old girl or whatever.
Yeah.
But this season, I thought they all looked 16.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Okay. So let's start with the flashback at the very beginning of the episode. So it kind of flashes back to the day that Will disappeared. And we see that, so Will's hiding in Castle Byers. We don't know how many days he's been there, but it seems like it's been a while. Then a Demogorgon starts chasing him, and then you finally see him getting dragged into what I think was Town Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did look like Town Hall.
Okay. So Town Hall, that's also, I believe, where the 4 gates met at the end of season 4, right?
Yeah.
So what is it about Town Hall?
Yeah, I would think if anything, it's Hawkins' lab that would be the center of everything. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Because also in a later episode this season, when Will is drawing that big thing on the wall, and he shows like all the kids being like placed on those pillars. I was expecting that to be Town Hall, but it wasn't. It was like some random place.
Ooh, I actually read a theory about this,
Ooh.
and it's gonna blow your mind.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, well, just to give some context, so I don't know if you knew, but there was a play based on Stranger Things. It was like a prequel. It played in London, and then it was on Broadway for a while, and it goes over the story of Henry Creel, so Vecna, and like just goes into his like upbringing, how he transitioned from like an outcast kid to this like evil thing.
Oh. Was it created by the Duffer Brothers?
Yes.
Oh.
Or someone else wrote it, but I think the Duffer Brothers were involved.
Okay.
And a plot line in that story is that Vecna, or Henry or whatever, he gets transported to this Dimension X, which is where he meets the Mind Flayer for the first time.
Oh, I thought he created the Mind Flayer.
No, remember the Mind Flayer's like this ancient monster that has been around for so long he doesn't know like where home is or something like that. Remember Dustin was talking about
Oh.
it?
Okay, but I thought we learned that when when Henry gets banished by 11, he goes into the, like, whatever purgatory kind of thing, and then he uses his inspiration of spiders to
That's
create the
right.
Mind Flayer, right?
Okay, then maybe I'm mistaken, but he goes into this Dimension X and he encounters very evil beings. And before we get to the drawing, do you remember the teacher in that science class was talking about wormholes?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a theory out there showing that Will was drawing a wormhole.
Like, that whole thing was a
Yeah, it was a
wormhole?
wormhole and then it kind of goes in the middle. And so the theory is that the upside down is like a buffer between the right side up and Dimension X.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the theory, which is on Reddit, is that Vecna is trying to bring Dimension X to this world, and those walls that are surrounding the upside down are like the barriers between the right side up and Dimension X.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I did want to ask about the walls, what you thought they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about the walls. Before I read this theory, I was wondering whether it's like keeping evil out or if it's like trapping them inside. Like what purpose did those walls serve? After reading this theory, now I think that it's just keeping evil out and those are actually good. They're so gross. I'm like, how can they be good? They're so disgusting.
Maybe they are good, but they've been taken over by gross things.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Sorry, that was a big tangent.
No,
No,
that's good. Wait, how did we get to this topic? Oh, Town Hall.
Town Hall, you were talking about the kids, the drawing, and how it didn't, yeah.
Oh, okay. Other things I wanted to talk about in episode 1. Oh, so we see that Dustin is still really affected by Eddie's death, which is so sad. It's been like over a school year already.
Yeah.
And he's still, I feel like he was actually trying to keep Eddie's memory alive. Like he grew his hair out.
Yeah.
He was wearing the Hellfire shirt.
Yeah.
He sat in Eddie's seat at lunch.
Yeah. He was wearing a bunch of rings.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
he's trying to like keep Eddie alive through himself.
It's really sad though. I feel like all of his innocence is just gone. Which I guess makes sense. He saw his like role model
Mhm.
brutally murdered. But yeah, even at the end of season 4, or maybe it wasn't the end, he still had that, like, he was the comic relief in
Mhm.
season 4, especially season 4, interacting with Eddie and Steve. And yeah, now he's just so hardened. It's really
So
sad.
sad.
Yeah.
And he's keeping things from his friends. He's not telling them that he's getting
Yeah.
beaten up. They're also like, dude, we have to lay low. And he's like, I don't know. He just doesn't want to share
Yeah.
with them what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah. I did want to note though, in his fight with the bullies in the graveyard, he bit one of the guy's arms, and I was like, "Wow, Dustin, your teeth really came in."
Yay, Dustin!
Yay!
Yay, biting!
Happy for your teeth.
Okay. Perhaps plot hole question. When they couldn't find Dustin when they were all supposed to meet at Squawk, why didn't 11 just find Dustin?
I was wondering the same thing.
She could have so easily just put a blindfold on and found him.
Yeah.
And been like, oh no, he's at the cemetery and he's been beaten up.
Right. Like, it's, well, I guess maybe they didn't do that at first. Well, was Elle still with Steve and Jonathan when they were looking for Dustin?
Well, there was that scene when she and Mike are sitting on the roof of Squawk.
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
like, I hope we find Dustin soon.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Why isn't he showing up on time? Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
find him.
That is a plot hole.
Okay. Okay, good to know. I don't know if I should call it plot holes, but maybe like world building continuity stuff, just stuff that kind of took me out a little bit. One, how old is Holly supposed to be? Because she looks like she's like 12.
I think she might be 12.
But she was like 4. She was sitting in a high chair in season 1. That was 4 years ago.
Oh.
Like max 4, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
okay.
5.
But she was in Hawkins Middle School, because when Mike went to pick her up, I think it was the middle school.
No, I think it's elementary school because
Really?
it had a playground.
Oh. So maybe she's like
10? So she was 6 in season 1?
Yeah, that's kind of pushing it.
I thought she was like a baby in season 1.
Okay, see, this is the kind of criticism that other people had of the older kids.
Yeah. No, but the older kids, they established how old they were. They just looked too old.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say her voice sounds so, like, mature.
Okay, yeah, I think that's not helping.
Yeah.
Her voice is so deep.
It's, like, deeper than ours.
Yeah. She has, like, a low, husky voice.
Yeah.
Okay, but canon, she's supposed to be, like, 10.
Yeah.
9 or 10.
Yeah, like, late elementary school.
Oh,
yeah, actually, because Vecna was targeting 9 to 10-year-olds.
Oh.
So Holly must be between 9 and 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say she's in, like, 4th grade.
Yeah.
All right. I could believe that. That she was, like, in kindergarten in season 1.
In a high chair? Maybe a booster seat, but
maybe.
high chair is kind of pushing it.
Well,
whatever.
Okay, whatever. All right. So episode 2 is called The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler, which is the same episode title as the pilot episode, which was The Vanishing of Will Byers.
Ooh, I did not catch that.
So we see her get taken by the Demogorgon.
Yes.
Her parents are hurt,
Yeah,
but not dead.
Yep.
I thought they were dying for sure.
I thought so too.
So we learn about like the Mr. What's-It and all of that stuff. We see the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my main question from this episode, Demogorgons can just create their own gates? Question
like
mark?
Casually whenever they want and so quickly.
Yeah.
They don't even break momentum like jumping.
Yeah. Why did they never do that in previous seasons?
I think they did. Well,
Did they?
you know how the first gate that Nancy and Jonathan find is in that tree in season 1?
Yeah,
Like, that was probably the Demogorgon, right? Like, why would there be a tiny gate there?
I guess. But then, okay, going back to, was it season 4 that they were stuck in Russia?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't the Demogorgon just, like, gate itself out?
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess because the Upside Down doesn't exist in Russia? Maybe in
Maybe.
Hawkins?
Maybe. It can only make gates in Hawkins.
Okay.
Because outside of the walls of the Upside Down,
Oh,
maybe they
yeah.
can't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
fine. It just seems so casual this season, and I was like, what?
Yeah, and like they found it so hard last season to find the gates. But this
Yeah.
season it's like they're everywhere. It's like there's a gate around
Yeah.
every other
Boom,
corner.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But I guess they were looking for gates that they could go into, and the Demogorgons were making gates to come out of. So,
yeah, and they were closing up really quickly.
yeah.
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 Okay. And I guess the gates that Vecna made while killing Chrissy and Fred and I forget that basketball player's name.
Yeah.
I guess those were like more permanent gates. Like those weren't closing, right? That was the point because they found it days later.
That was a Vecna killing, I guess.
Okay, so Vecna killings create permanent gates. Demogorgons create
Temporary gates.
Okay.
I'm glad we established that.
Excellent. Okay, so Holly Wheeler. Do you have any theories as to why Holly is first?
I thought she's not first. Because I thought she's the first one we recognize. Because when Will had the flash to Vecna's like mind or whatever, there were multiple kids with the vine on the mouth. And so I thought Holly was just the first one that they
knew.
connected to Vecna.
Oh, but don't you think we would have seen some stuff about like missing kids?
Yeah.
Wouldn't the radio station have known about this?
That's true. But then there was also no information after Holly disappeared about more missing kids.
There were no Oh, yeah, wait, there were. Yeah.
So like, because remember you were like, oh, is that in the future?
Yeah.
When we saw the Vecna mind, like, red area, but there was no indication it was in the future. Yeah, so when did those kids disappear?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was in the future, and it was the kids that we saw getting taken at the end of episode 4.
Oh.
Maybe?
Okay, yeah. Maybe.
But he said there were 4 of them, right? And there were soon to be 12.
Right.
I think they did take 3 kids, though. So maybe those are the first 4.
They dragged 2 after the whole shootout.
They dragged 3 after the whole shootout.
But then they also dragged all the kids from the van.
Oh, so okay, so maybe that's like the last 8 to make up the 12.
Yeah.
Okay. I think 12 is a significant number, and it has to do with grandfather clock and stopwatch.
Wait, what?
I don't know what it means, but I just feel like when I heard that he had 12 posts to put kids in, it just made me think of the clock. I just think there's something there about the number 12. Like, 12 is a meaningful number, and so he's trying to do things in sets of 12. And, like, 4 is a factor of 12, so he made the 4 gates to connect in the middle and stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to ask you what you thought the significance of 12 was. I was thinking, like, does it have to do with, like, after 11?
Oh!
But then I remember the flashbacks to the Hawkins, like, where the kids were. Dr. Brenner said, like, number 17, open the door.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were clearly more than 10 kids in there with 11, and they were younger than her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't get really very far in thinking about 12, but
11, 12.
I like the clock theory.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly like what it means. Oh, also in Hunger Games, the second Hunger Games, there was something about a giant clock, right?
Yes. The thing was a clock.
Yeah, the whole thing was a clock.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is Holly the new Will?
Yeah. Okay, yes, this is what I was gonna ask. So I did think that Holly was the first kid, and so I was trying to think, why would she be targeted? And let's rewind to season 1. You know when Karen Wheeler brings Holly to the Byers' house when Will is missing and just tries to comfort Joyce? And then Holly wanders into Will's room and, like, sees something coming out of the wall?
Yeah.
At the time, I thought that was a Demogorgon, but okay, so I was thinking this when we were rewatching because I knew that episode 2 of season 5 was called The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler.
Oh, okay.
And so I was paying special attention to Holly in seasons 1 through 3. And so when that happened and when, like, the being reached out to her, I was like, oh, is that Vecna? And he sees her and, like, marks her for the future or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
it.
So then when the Vanishing of Holly Wheeler episode started, I was like, are we going to see a flashback to that scene when that happened? And then see it from his perspective of he's like, she's next or something. But we didn't.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't think to look at the episode titles of season 5 when rewatching, but that's a cool connection.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that is true.
Cool.
Yeah.
The only other insight I have about the episode titles is that the finale is called The Right Side Up.
Right.
When the finale of season 1 was called The Upside Down.
Oh,
so
okay.
There's, like, some parallelism there.
I think I had one more thing about episode 2. Oh, yeah, we see the introduction of the flesh wall. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like the Game of Thrones wall.
It totally does. Actually, I've been thinking about Game of Thrones a lot this season because all right, this is a bit of a tangent, but if you're a Game of Thrones fan, stick with me here. So, I was discussing Game of Thrones with my friend Nathan, and he's read all the books, and you know how we don't really know how the books would have ended?
Yeah.
Because George R.R. Martin never finished them. Yeah. And I think everybody can agree that the way season 8 ended was terrible.
Yep.
I don't even barely consider it canon. So let's imagine how Game of Thrones could have ended.
Sure.
His theory is that the reason dragons exist is to get rid of the White Walkers. And, like, you need the fire to balance the ice, and without the ice there's no need for fire, and vice versa.
Okay.
And so in the end, how it was supposed to end was that all the dragons die, all the White Walkers die, the world goes back to normal, and there's, like, no magic anymore.
Oh, I like
and
that.
Everybody's just a normal human.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about that in the context of Stranger Things, in which, like, you know how we saw 11 kind of lose her powers, but then they came back? What if, in the end, what's going to happen is that once there's no longer an Upside Down, once there's no longer a Vecna, there's no need for anybody to have powers anymore.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But that also, I mean, I haven't really thought through this theory because why did Henry have powers to begin with?
Yeah. Okay, actually, this might tie back to that play. Apparently, so in the play, they say something about, like, he has powers because he has a new blood type. And the reason, okay, Yappers, correct me if I'm wrong, because I just read the plot on Wikipedia. The reason, like, all the kids in that lab got powers was because their blood was infused with this new blood type.
Oh, so they weren't born with powers?
I don't think so. And maybe that's why Will has powers, because Vecna was, like, pumping some stuff into his body.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so powers are not innate to a person. They can be acquired.
Maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting. I really like that theory.
Yeah.
Okay. But then why was his blood type, like, in this theory that I have come up with, why would his blood have that? Like, what would there be, like, why would there be a need for someone to have powers in the world to restore balance to what?
Yeah, I don't know. Going back to some parallelism between Game of Thrones and Stranger Things. So I was thinking about how big the cast is in Stranger Things, and how in horror movies and horror stories in general, there aren't that many main characters. But I think what both Stranger Things and Game of Thrones does is they attack a story from a lot of different perspectives. Like Game of Thrones, they always have something going on in the north and in the south and in like Dorne, like
Essos, Westeros,
yeah,
yeah.
like everywhere. And they all kind of like converge and then the story comes together as one at the end. And that's pretty much what every single season of Stranger Things is like.
Maybe with the exception of season 1.
Season 1, yeah. Season 1 was like the
Yeah.
introduction. I guess Game of Thrones did start with a bunch of stories and Stranger Things didn't, but yeah, it became like super apparent season 2 through 4 that like everybody was attacking things from different sides and they didn't know they were
Yeah.
actually all working together, but they were.
Yeah.
And that was like similar to Game of Thrones. I'm curious to see how they're going to continue the story of season 5 because for the most part, they're all kind of working together. They start off working together, at least, with the crawl,
Mhm.
and then they, like, sort of get separated. Now you have some people in the right side up and some people in the upside down, but they are still I guess they are sort of attacking it from different angles.
Yeah, I think that they are, and also I still think what Game of Thrones and Stranger Things do really well, which this is still in common, is that there are just so many storylines happening at once.
Yeah.
And like you don't see the entire cast going through things together,
Yeah.
which yeah, so that's still true. Even if they're working together, like it's still very different stories happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's a really good point.
yeah, and also another parallel, so the Game of Thrones story, like, the true bad guys are the White Walkers,
Mm,
but there's, like, so much politics between all of the different families, like Lannisters, um, versus everyone else, and this similar thing is happening in Stranger Things where the true bad guy is, like, Vecna and this, like, evil power,
mhm.
but then, like, the military is involved, and there are like internal politics there, and then the bullies from the high school are involved and they're like making things a lot harder
Yeah.
to actually fight this evil being. So that's like another parallel between the two. And it makes the story like so much more intricate and
Mhm.
really interesting. It's not just a straightforward like good guy bad guy fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And I love stories like this where like there's so much infighting and it's like you don't even know that none of this matters
Yeah.
because there's a huge thing coming and you have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh
totally agree.
wow. Talking about Game of Thrones, I'm like, yeah,
There's
they're
so
so
many.
similar.
Yeah, I think equally like obviously it doesn't seem like the Duffer Brothers drew inspiration from Game of Thrones
Right.
necessarily, but they do things really well in the same way, which
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
And similar kind of messages about, like society in
Mhm.
which when I watch Game of Thrones, I haven't actually thought about it in the context of Stranger Things, but now I think I will think about it more is well, for yappers who don't know, I am work in the field of sustainability, and so climate change is on my mind a lot day to day.
Mm.
And I always think of Game of Thrones in the context of climate change,
Yeah,
where
same.
it's like all of our country, like there's war happening, there's like the economy, there's all these like social issues, blah, blah, blah. There's so much going on. But at the end of the day, like we might not have an earth to be fighting on, you
Yeah.
know? And like that, I think that Game of Thrones like perfectly captures that in
Mhm.
the feeling of like all of these families fighting each other, but then like there are White Walkers on the other side of the wall just waiting to attack and
Yeah,
building an army.
totally.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe this story's a little bit different because the military has number 8, Kali,
Mm.
and we're not really sure what they're doing with her. So that might be, like, a difference between Game of Thrones and Stranger Things where, like, the political foes
Mm.
are actually involved in the big fight as well.
That's true. That's true. I guess like they just don't really know what they're doing, the
Yeah.
military, because they think they're trying to find 11
Right.
and that finding 11 is going to solve everything. When it's like
Yeah.
that is so not
Yeah.
what you should be doing.
Yeah.
I think it still goes with the parallels. Wow, didn't think we would be talking so much about Game of
I
Thrones.
know. Kinda love it.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about should we talk about Will's powers?
Yes.
Crazy.
Oh my god. Dude, the end of episode 4 blew my mind.
Yes! Oh my god.
Oh.
I was like, how? There's so many times now that we've watched seasons 1 through 4 in a row, and now we're watching season 5. There are so many times when I'm like, how is this person gonna get out of this? And then, like, something crazy happens that I don't expect.
Yeah.
And this time I was truly like, there's no way Mike, Lucas, Robin are all gonna make it out alive from this. I thought we were gonna see a death of a main character. And instead, Will just, like, Vecna's up and controls all the Demogorgons.
Vecna's the fuck up.
And he does the weird, like, bone breaking thing.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. Okay. Do we think Will has, like, more, like, stronger powers than Elle at this point? Because he can control Demogorgons, like, super far away. Whereas, like, Elle has only really controlled stuff that's, like, right in front of her.
Whoa. Maybe. Maybe he always had it, he just didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like
That's what
was
Robin was
flashing.
saying. Oh, yeah. So maybe he and Elle can work together?
Yeah. With 8?
Yeah, with 8, hopefully.
Yeah,
Who knows what'll
hopefully.
happen with 8?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
That was crazy.
Okay, talking about 8 for a second. So I knew that 8 was gonna come back, and the second that 11 was like, oh, I can't see inside, they must have Vecna, or like someone in there has powers, it must be Vecna. I was like, that's Kali. That is number 8.
Oh my god.
I had a feeling she was coming back because I had seen this post before season 5 came out. I think I told you about this, where I think the kids were playing D&D and rolled an 11, and it wasn't good enough to defeat whatever monster. I think it was Vecna. That they were trying to fight. But then in the post they said something about an 8 helping. Maybe there was a different D&D scene in an earlier season where 8 was the thing that defeated something. And so they were connecting that with, like, the 11 not being good enough. And so they were like, oh, Kali's definitely coming back in season 5. But anyway, I had held on to that. So I was, like, waiting for any mention of Kali perhaps coming back.
Yeah. I'm really glad she came back, because that episode when Elle went to see her, like, it was important to Elle's story, maybe, but otherwise, like, it was so pointless, that whole episode.
I was literally like, is this a backdoor pilot for a new show?
Oh.
I thought that's what it was, but clearly not.
Yeah, it almost felt like a bottle episode where they just, like, stopped the story for a bit, figured this whole thing out, and then, like, continued the story afterwards. So I'm really glad that she came back.
Yeah, I'm glad it means something.
Yeah.
And that, like, we get to see what her powers can do, because we know that she can make people see things. So if she does end up working with 11, I'm very excited to see what comes of that.
Do you think she's flipped, though, and she's working for the military?
I don't know, because do you think she knows that they're using her powers to find 11?
I don't know.
It's so unclear what she knows, but I cannot imagine that she would flip against 11.
Yeah.
Because she was so vehemently opposed to establishment. She was, like, so anti-establishment.
True. Yeah, maybe they're capturing her also because her head was shaved. So, yeah, she's, like, there against her will.
They're just using
repressed her.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Sisters.
Oh, we're sisters.
Who do you think is the 11 and who's the 8?
I don't think we're either.
I don't think we're either. I guess I'm 8 because you're younger.
Okay. Actually, yeah, because
why?
You're gonna hate me for.
Oh no, why?
Because you're a great candidate for Survivor, because you're able to make people see things that you want them to see.
Oh, wait, why would I hate that?
Because you're
manipulative.
Yeah. You have the power of manipulation. Mental manipulation. Similar to Kali. And I have the power to move things with my mind.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Great.
I feel like I had more to say on Will's powers. Oh, yeah. Okay, going back to Will's powers and how he might be more powerful than 11 because he can control things remotely. It reminds me of when I got my second tattoo. I had a Reiki session and I was asking her about it. And she
About
said
your tattoo?
about Reiki in general.
Oh.
And she was saying there are different levels to Reiki. The first level is like you perform a Reiki healing by like touching them. And then you like do more like learnings or you like work with a guru. And then the second level is like you're close to them, but you don't need to touch them, which is like L. And then the third is like you can remotely heal someone through Reiki, like Will.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Good theory.
So Will has leveled up.
Yeah. And Vecna, I guess, in that sense, can he do that even? We know he can enter minds remotely, but can he manipulate that, like physically move them
I
remotely?
mean, for like Chrissy's death and all, like those people, was he like physically there? Because we didn't see him physically there when they all like lifted into the air.
Oh, that's true. For all of these, he's in his attic.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So he does all of that remotely.
Yeah. So he's level 3.
But 11 can enter places through her mind and do things to people. Right?
Yeah, well, can she like physically manipulate them? I don't know.
She healed Max. She brought
That's
Max back
true.
to life.
That's true.
Hmm.
Okay. Maybe she just hasn't had the need to remotely physically manipulate someone.
Yeah. Or maybe she hasn't, we've just forgotten.
Yeah.
There's been so many of those like all black scenes.
True.
Where she's just walking.
Yeah. Oh no, but in those scenes when she like there's like one scene I'm thinking of where she tries to grab Mike and then like his
There are
world
definitely
disappears.
some scenes like that, but I think there are some scenes where she actually does something to the person. Like Billy grabs her arm in that one scene. Oh, this might have been an episode that you didn't watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like when she enters Billy's mind, he like grabs her arm and stuff. So I think she can interact with them. I just can't remember if she actually like fights anyone like that. Yeah.
Okay. Should we continue on with the episodes?
Well, I feel like we've kind of talked about most of them at this point. Oh, we haven't talked about Max.
Yay! I was gonna bring up Max.
Okay, yay. Okay, first of all, when we saw that note from Henry that is meant for, like, that's in the mailbox, I knew that was teenage girl handwriting. I was like, there's no way Henry's 50s handwriting looks like this. Right?
I need to look at that note again, because I didn't notice that. But also when I was a teenager, I don't think my handwriting looked particularly teenage girl.
Okay, that's fine, but if handwriting looks like that, it is a teenage girl.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, who is this? It's clearly not Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, her story this season is so tragic.
I know. I can't believe she almost got out and the tape ended.
Ugh.
This would have never happened after Spotify days.
Yeah. Even like iPod days.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could just put it on repeat.
Yeah.
You need digital versions of music.
Truly.
Yeah. But yeah. So it looks like they're trapped in one of Vecna's memories where there are caves. This also goes back to the play.
Oh, okay.
So apparently when Henry is playing with the equipment from Brenner's lab and then it like takes him to Dimension X, he was in a cave when that happened.
When he was playing with it or in Dimension X?
When he was playing with it, and that's when he was transported to Dimension X. He was in a cave.
Oh.
And so the theory that I read online was that is the cave, and that's why he's so scared of it, is because that is where he like completely shifted.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask you what you thought the significance of the cave was, like, because we know he was frightened by that cave.
Yeah.
So obviously something traumatic happened. I was thinking, I hadn't really thought this through very well, but I was thinking it maybe had something to do with the bats from season 4, where like he was attacked by bats or something, and so those bats are now like, I don't know. Yeah, basically he became Batman.
And Spider-Man.
Yeah. A Spider-Man Batman. But yeah, or I was thinking like he was like sexually assaulted or something. That's
Yeah.
kind of what his facial expression was giving.
Right.
Um
Yeah, it made me think, like, is this cave, before I read this theory, I was wondering, is this cave going to show us or like humanize him in some way
mm,
for us? Because right now he's just this evil.
evil. Yeah, we've never seen
Yeah.
him any sort of vulnerability from him.
Yeah. So, like, will this cave reveal that he wasn't always evil and
Mm.
some vulnerability, or that he was taken advantage of in some way um when he was a kid,
Yeah.
maybe. So, I
Yeah.
think it will.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love seeing villains' backstories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was like the one thing Game of Thrones didn't have. Actually, they
They
kind of did have it,
did,
showing
with
the origin.
Yeah, which is actually a very similar scene to 11 banishing one
True.
to the
Yeah.
purgatory.
It was like the Children of the Tree? What was it
Yeah,
called?
I think so.
Children of the Forest?
I don't
Something like
remember.
that. They make the first White Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that is
he
very
like gets
similar.
pierced through the heart or something, and he's like against the wall or against the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Everything comes back to Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited to see the human side of him. And
Mm.
I'm curious to see what the Duffer Brothers will do with that. Like, do they want us to sympathize with him?
Yeah.
Or just see him as this, like, evil?
I think the best villains are the ones that you do have some sympathy for.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I hope they humanize him.
I think they will.
I have full trust in the Duffer Brothers.
Yes.
In a way that I did not have trust in Benioff and Weiss.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally trust the direction they're going with this
Mhm.
story. So when Elle was, I think it was the end of season 4, maybe, when Elle was trying to like remote into Max's mind, she couldn't find Max anywhere.
Mhm.
It's probably because Max is in Vecna's memories and Elle cannot access Vecna. That's probably why she couldn't access Max.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I think that was actually at the beginning of this season.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Okay. It all blends together, honestly. Oh, also, Will and Robin.
Oh,
So
their moment was so
sweet.
cute.
Yeah. I love how, like, Will showed a little bit of curiosity and then Robin just kind of, like, took him under her wing. And
So sweet.
yeah. Ugh. Yeah. It's so special to have a role model like that.
Yeah. Like a
'cause
little mentor.
yeah. Because, like, Robin probably didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been so scared for so long about people finding out. And now, like, Will has this safe space where he can, like, more freely think about his sexuality. It's so special.
Yeah. And she's probably the only person that knows, right?
Yeah. And maybe Jonathan. Because I think Jonathan
Mm.
saw him crying
Oh, yeah.
in the
At the end of season 4.
And that's when Jonathan was like, hey, we should talk more. It's, like, really important now to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Will has a great support system.
Yeah, but
So lucky.
poor Will. He has not
Yeah.
had a moment of peace.
I know.
Like maybe just between seasons 2 and 3 until the Mind Flayer came back.
Yeah, when he was in California. But then he was also not happy there.
Oh, it was between seasons 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was just unhappy.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 very minor things. Vecna collecting children
Mhm.
reminded me of the movie Weapons that we saw.
Yeah.
And we were also reminded of Weapons in season 3 when we saw all of those people just like standing there like zombies being waiting to be turned into an army.
Yes. Literally in a basement.
Yeah.
Which is the same as Weapon.
Exactly. Yeah. Then him taking all the kids again reminded me of that.
Yeah. So true.
Yappers, for those of you who have not seen the movie Weapons, the story is that all of these kids from this one classroom go missing the same day. Overnight, and then everybody's like, what happened to these kids? They're all seen running off in the same direction.
So good.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last thing was just a minor detail that I thought was very good was that when Will comes outside from the barn to talk to his mom, and she's like, "Oh, why aren't you wearing your jacket? Aren't you cold?" And he doesn't really say he's cold. I think it's because Vecna likes it cold. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I love it.
Because, we saw that in season 2.
Yeah. Also, I just love Joyce so much.
I know.
She's such a mom. Like, talking to what
Derek.
dipshit Derek. She's like, and you're not a dipshit.
I'm delightful, Derek.
So sweet. Ugh.
Oh, Joyce.
Yeah.
And she's such a mom to 11, too. She was like, "You were really fast, 11."
Yeah. Love Joyce.
Oh, that's such a good mom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Hopper. We never talked about Hopper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's such a good dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to know, actually, they kind of called it out in this season. I don't know if you noticed, but when he's talking about his daughter, he holds Eleven's wrist where she's wearing that hair tie. And I think I might have told you about this, but there's this like blue hair tie theory or blue scrunchie theory, where in season 1, when they flash back to Sarah, his daughter, having her first symptoms when she's on the playground and she's like panting, you see her wearing these really cute blue scrunchies in her hair.
Yeah.
And then later you see that same scrunchie on Hopper's wrist. And then in season 3, you see that scrunchie on Eleven's wrist.
Aww.
And then this season, when he's talking about Sarah, he kind of like holds her wrist and touches the hair tie.
Wait.
Yeah, and then
so sweet.
I know. And then when they flash back to that scene again in the hospital, they like zoom in on the hair tie a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
good catch.
So cute.
Oh, yeah.
I totally see it from his perspective of like not wanting to lose 11.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, she's the best chance everybody has.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she wants to fight. Obviously, she's a kid, but
Yeah.
still.
It's the same position that Joyce is in with Will, too. Like, Will the antenna. He is the best chance, but, like, the parental instinct is to protect your kid.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't want anything to happen. Especially Hopper, who had already lost his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's tough when your kid is a superhero.
Don't I know it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about a theory that could lead into our predictions.
Oh, okay.
For the next few episodes. So, it's kind of a sad one, but I saw this theory online about the bike lights. So, in season 4, when they're in the Upside Down, it's like Eddie and a few others, they're like riding bikes through the Upside Down. The only person who has their bike light on is Eddie, and the only one who dies is Eddie. And then there was a poster for season 5, and not everyone's bike lights were on. The only people who have their bike lights on are Will and Dustin.
Dustin!
Yeah. And the poster is the 5 kids, so the 4 boys and Elle. And Will and Dustin are the only ones with their bike lights on. And then if you remember in season 3 it was, Dustin talked to Steve and was like, "If you die, I die." So I wonder if they're all gonna die.
Dustin, Steve, and Will.
Yeah. And maybe Hop, because he has the, like, explosive on his body.
Yeah. I did when Dustin said, "If you die, I die" to Steve, or I don't know who said it to whom, but when that happened, I was like, "Uh-oh, I think they're gonna die." So they've been at the top of my
Yeah.
kill list.
Yeah.
I kind of had a feeling that something more was gonna happen to Will. I don't know if that means that he's gonna die or he's just gonna like be stuck in the Upside Down forever or in Dimension X or
Yeah.
what, but I feel like he's not gonna go back to living a normal life.
Yeah. Also because he's in the hive mind, and every time a Demogorgon feels pain, he feels pain.
Yeah.
When they kill Vecna, I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. there a way to kill the Vecna in him without killing him?
Yeah. Yeah. So those are my thoughts on who might die
Mm-hmm.
at the end of this season. Um, but yeah, what are your theories for what actually happens?
Okay, so let's see where we leave off. The Dustin crew have just figured out the wall theory, or like the
Mm-hmm.
walls, but they're still stuck in the upside down.
Yeah.
Right? And they're just tracking the Demogorgon.
Yep.
So let's see. We've seen Vecna. We don't know where he's living. I think 11, 8, and Will are going to have to work together in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are going to lose some main characters.
Yeah.
I think Max will come back.
Mm-hmm. What do you think will happen to the kids, including Holly?
Oh, those kids?
Yeah.
I think we'll get them back.
Mm.
I think we'll get them back. There are too many of them for all of them to
Yeah.
die.
Do you think they're gonna be like willified?
I think they might temporarily be willified until Vecna is dead. I do think they will defeat Vecna in the end.
Yeah.
Actually, my main theory for this season is that this entire thing
Oh.
was a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Right.
And at the very end, we're going to see the little kids just around the table in Mike's basement playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Would you be satisfied with that ending?
If there was a good resolution within the game, like
Mm.
within the story that we're watching right now, if there was a good resolution within that, and then in the end it was all a game, I would be
Yeah.
totally satisfied by that.
Yeah. I would love if they like kill Vecna and then it just goes to Mike's basement. All the kids are like, yeah, we rolled a 20 or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. And then I think there would also be something so poetic for Will the Wise, because he's like okay, I won't pretend like I know Dungeons and Dragons terms very well, but like he's a wizard, right? And so like he doesn't have many physical powers, but he's like wise and has a lot of like mental powers for him to like use those mental powers to do physical things.
Has this made you more interested in D&D? I guess you've already tried it once.
I have tried it once. I don't think I really am. Mostly because I've like done it before, but I think the first time I watched this show, I had never played Dungeons and Dragons, and then during COVID, I did play it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have played it, I kind of understand the excitement around it more.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's making me appreciate their love of it a little more.
Cool. I've been like Dungeons and Dragons curious, maybe,
Ooh.
especially after the show. And then one of my friends wants to start a campaign, which I don't really know what that means.
That means basically that they want to start a game journey.
Okay.
Where like characters are placed in a world, and then you find out about a task, and then you can like do things to carry out those tasks.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe I'll play.
Okay, cool. Great. Well, yappers, you heard it here first.
I might play.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Okay, what are your theories? Any other theories?
I think I'm pretty aligned with your theories. Yeah. I can't really think of anything else. It's more curiosity. I'm curious to see how Max and Holly's story will end up, because I think Max will also come out of her coma, but then what happens to Holly, and like I hope there's some connection there between Max waking up and being like, I know where Holly is. I hope maybe like something like that happens. That would be cool.
That would be cool. But does she know where Holly is?
No.
She knows where Holly's conscience is, but yeah.
Yeah, but then Max has also like been through a lot of Vecna's memories, so she might know how to get to those spires where all the kids are.
Oh, yeah. And I hope there's also something about like what she's learned in those memories to help them defeat Vecna in the end.
Oh, I'm sure that's part of it.
I hope so.
Yeah. It's also interesting how like when she was about to gain her consciousness again, she was in that like red area in his mind, and then she kept running, and then ended up in this like
deeper memory.
Yeah, but it was like sunny and blue skies and picturesque and like, yeah. So, like, that was in the same world as this, like, scary, red, like, gooey place.
Yeah. I think the red scary place is his, like, conscience,
Yeah. Okay.
but those other places are his memories. I think that's
Oh,
what it, because
okay.
like there's nothing happening, or like there's no setting really in the red place
Yeah, that's true.
except kind of like the ruins of his house.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Should we rate the season?
Yes, I'm so ready.
All right, go.
Quality 5 out of 5.
Yep.
Enjoyment 5 out of 5.
Yep. I 100% agree. This has been so good. My expectations were high, and it's actually exceeded those expectations.
Yeah, same. Okay, usually when we're watching Yappers, we're like 2 logs on our couch.
Yeah. This couch, actually.
Yeah, this couch. It's a chase. So one person is always laying down on the chase. The other person is always horizontal. And usually I'm just like lounging.
Yeah.
Fully laying down. This one, I was like literally edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Like, I like wanted to be closer to the TV.
And
that's how much I enjoyed it.
Same. And I like audibly gasped so many times.
Yes.
When we saw Max.
Yes.
When Will got powers.
Mm-hmm.
When we saw Kali.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
So good. Cool. Yep. 10 out of 10.
Yep.
I'm with you. Great. Okay. Binge in progress?
Well, okay. The binging has mostly been Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But I guess I continue to watch Survivor, or we continue to watch Survivor. Amazing Race. The season is coming to a close pretty soon, so that's exciting. I've been rewatching SpongeBob from season 1.
Great.
Yeah. It's my like wind down TV show.
Oh, nice.
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Nice.
So yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, I have a suggestion for you so that you don't have to scrape the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Which is to watch The Beast in Me on Netflix, which is so good. I'm about to finish the season, and Yappers, I think we're going to do this. Ruchi and I are going to do this for our next episode. But yeah, it's really good. It's with what's his name? Okay, Claire Danes is the main character.
Oh.
Matthew Rhys is the other main character.
Oh, I recognize the name.
Okay. And Brittany Snow's in it. The girl that plays what's her face in Parks and Rec?
Lucy,
yeah. Lucy from Parks and Rec is in it. Yeah. So it's really good. And it's like right up my alley, which is like rich people problems and intrigue and suspense.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Cool.
I'll
watch it.
All right. Great. Well, Yappers, that's it for Stranger Things 5 Part 1. We will be releasing, of course, another episode for Part 2 that comes out on Christmas Day, I think. Yeah, it comes out on Christmas Day. And then the finale will be New Year's Eve. So that episode, Part 2, Poonam's going to come on. If you want to, you're also welcome to come on.
Okay.
And 3 of us can talk about it.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Great. And yeah, well, we will see you there. We will also see you in between, but that's a wrap on Stranger Things 5 Part 1.
Yay.
Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yap Repeat.
Until next time, happy binging!